much, Andrew. Appreciate it.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to evacuate and Dr. McPhee is going to replace.
All right, sounds good.
All right, are we all set to go?
We're all set to go. Thank you so much, Dr. McPhee. I'm going to make a quick introduction to our viewers. So hello, Tennessee Voices viewers. This is David Plazas. I'm the Opinion and Engagement Editor for the Tennessean and the USA Today Network Tennessee. And like you, I have Wi-Fi and Zoom issues. So I'm so thankful to my guest today, Dr. McPhee, who is recording on our behalf. And I'm delighted to have a conversation with him. He's the president of Middle Tennessee University, the largest university in Tennessee. And he's been doing some pretty exciting things in spite of the COVID-19 pandemic that we have. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, David. This has been quite an interesting couple of months. But given everything, and certainly the uncharted territory that we're dealing with, I would say things are going as best as one can expect, and we're doing pretty good at the university.
I love your backdrop. Viewers are watching. Dr. McPhee is not literally in front of MTSU campus, but it's beautiful. I'll eventually be integrating those into mine as well in the future.
Right, right.
So you had to make the very difficult decision, like many other university leaders, of canceling commencement. You are sending graduates some interesting things. What are you doing in place of a traditional commencement for this year?
Well, we have quite a creative group of staff and executives at the university. And we did some brainstorming. Obviously, for us, graduation is, and I've said this in the 20 years that I've been president here, is the single most important event that we have on our campus. And our whole goal and mission is to prepare these young people and prepare our students to be able to walk across, get that degree that helps them to provide not only for their families, but also to be good citizens. And so we take our graduation ceremonies very, very seriously. I still shake every single hand. We graduate about 4,000 to 5,000 students a year. And so it was a heart-wrenching decision really to cancel our graduation ceremonies. Many of our students are first-generation college students, David, and they bring their neighbor, they bring their friends, the whole community to our graduation ceremonies. You know, we have 5 throughout the year because of the growth of the university, and each draws about 11,000 to 12,000 people in Murphy Center. And so we said, you know, this is not a situation of the students making, what can we do to make this a special occasion and a unique one for them? And so the idea was to put together a package with their diploma. We will mail, and at our cost, that will include some trinkets, a video message. We're exploring a very big surprise if we can work this out with a video message from a national person that will be a part of the package that we'll send out. And we hope that this would help to just ease that disappointment that students and their parents and their families will have as a result of not walking across the stage and having that moment of their lives.
Well, that's wonderful. And to hear that you'll have a virtual commencement speaker, that's exciting given the times that we're in. 2 programs that I have been really excited about from MTSU. And by the way, subconsciously, I think I chose to wear blue in my conversation with you today.
Great choice.
Thank you. But one of the programs is new, the data science program that you recently launched. And the other one is the program that's directed toward veterans. Could you talk about those, please, and where they are right now?
Yes. A few months ago, after extensive collaboration with some of the major tech companies in the area, in the Middle Tennessee area, and really with their direct input in the development of the curriculum, the need, the demand for data analytics and the support for technology in that area with the companies that this state, particularly the mid-state area, has drawn, like Amazon, I mean, the list goes on, Alliance Bernstein. There's a significant deficit of professional individuals with degrees in that area to support those business and industry. And so we collaborated with them and developed not only a degree and a certificate in the area that is custom made for companies, but we actually established the Tennessee Center for Data Science, the Institute for Data Science, that will work directly with companies on projects, that will provide leadership training for the executives, that will provide certificates for the employees, and pretty much address the need of that industry. When we launched that a few months ago, we had like 23 or 26 of the top tech firms that participated and were there as part of the Technology Council. One of our professors he actually was named the Data Scientist of the Year for the state of Tennessee, has been very much engaged in putting that together. This is just an example, David, of MTSU's focus on providing education degree, not just degree path for a job, but also providing what I'd call well-rounded, professionally trained individuals for business and industry that help in the economic development of this area. And I can go on, we have our concrete construction management program, one of the best in the world. Our recording industry, you know about that program.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Our aviation program, we've just developed a year ago a partnership with Delta. Delta has identified MTSU as one of their primary institutions in aerospace to hire their pilots, and they're guaranteeing our pilots who are in their junior year a job at Delta as long as they complete their senior year. And so the Data Science Institute is along that line of tradition where we provide not only expertise in the technical area, but we want our students to be able to think, to be able to work in teams, to understand diversity and appreciate diversity, and really make a contribution to the state and to the country.
Well, that's wonderful. And before we get to the second part of my question, let's lighten it up a little bit and ask you what some of your recommendations, what are ways that you're coping with the pandemic? Do you have any good book recommendations or new shows that you've taken on?
Yes, actually, my secret is I always wanted to be a rock star. You're laughing, but my first major was music. I had a scholarship to study music. I used to fool around with the guitar. I played the trombone in high school and had a band in my teenage years. And my wife had bought me this guitar with all of the amplifier and the music for my birthday years ago. I was just sitting in our game room. I just haven't had the time to pick it up and try to connect with that art. Well, because of this coronavirus situation, I had a little bit more free time to pick that guitar up, turn it on, and make some noise in the house.
Nice.
So that's one of the hobbies and the stress releasing for me. I do have a box guitar in my office, but I haven't had a chance to pick that up because I still come in. We have 700 students still on campus who we just can't kick out and put on the streets because there are either international students who are unable to go home, or we have a number of students who are homeless, by the way, on our campus, and those that are out of foster homes. So out of our about 3,000 to 4,000 residents, student residents, we have about 700 that we have to take care of. So we are a skeleton staff. About 95% of our employees are working at home. But as the captain of the ship, I come in and I'm taking the precautions, of course. So I'm still busy during the day.
Well, that's excellent. And do you remember your teenage band's name, by the way?
Yes, actually, it was called The Travelers.
Ah, nice.
And now that's many years ago. That was like before the Civil War. So let me put that in perspective. But I just love music. I spent the first year as a music major as an undergrad, but then decided, I need to make a living and I think I better do something else. I moved into psychology and counseling, but I still love music. The thing that I just love when I have time is to put on a good CD, just turn on some great music and have an eclectic taste from classic to country to rock. That helps me to relax.
And you'd mentioned that MTSU is on the map for recording with your College of Media and Entertainment. Shout out to Beverly Keel, the dean over there. And we also work quite a bit with Ken Paulson, the retired dean who now heads the First Amendment Center there. So it's a lot of good stuff, a lot of wonderful stuff happening in MTSU. And one of the things I wanted to talk to you about too, that is really has been transformative in many ways from what I've seen has been the veterans outreach that you do. Would you talk a little bit about that program and how it's evolved over time?
Yes, we are very proud of our Center for Support for Veterans and their families. We were very much blessed that we were able to get the support of the world-renowned Charlie Daniels and his wife Hazel. They are the benefactors of that center that provides incredible comprehensive services to our veterans and their families. And we don't even limit it to veterans who are on campus. Any veteran in this area and the Mid-City area can come to that center that we provide counseling, educational support, advising, mental health. We've partnered with the VA. We have a mental health counselor that's worked full-time in that center. They have done an incredible job, David, in really reaching out and providing the support that help veterans and their family make the transition from the military service to civilian life. We have over 1,100 veterans, students on our campus, and we have developed very unique programs for them. We have a stole ceremony just before graduation where they can invite their families and we recognize them and acknowledge their service and their educational achievement. And then during graduation, we also recognize them. We have all of them to stand up with their stole on, and it is the largest eruption of applause that the ceremony is every time. And we are very much grateful, and we feel that it is a no-brainer that those men and women and their families that have sacrificed so much for our freedom, that we do everything to help them get reacclimated back into this community and become productive citizens.
That's wonderful. Last time I was on your campus was in early March. I was speaking to a journalism class that my colleague Maria DeVarine, our executive editor, was teaching, along with my colleagues Alex Hubbard and LeBron Hill of our opinion team. And I try to be on campus at least once a semester, if not more. So it's always great to see the students and just the learning going on. And as a journalist, obviously, I have a predilection to those who are studying journalism. So it's wonderful that you're sustaining that program, and we're hopeful that they have a bright future ahead of them. They certainly were wonderful to talk to.
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about your own background of coming here to the Nashville area, to Murfreesboro. What drew you here and what has kept you here?
Yes, I don't know, your listeners will pick up an accent, hopefully in our conversation. I'm originally from the Bahamas, from Nassau. I grew up in Nassau. Did all of my public schooling in Nassau, graduated and moved on to college in Texas, where I got my undergraduate degree, a master's degree from the University of Miami in Coral Gables. And then I completed my doctoral work at Oklahoma State University in Stillwater in the area of counseling and psychology. And never thought I'd stay and live in Oklahoma. It was just to get a degree and get out of Oklahoma. Well, long and short, I stayed there for 7 years as a faculty and an administrator. Both our kids were born in Stillwater. And was recruited away after 7 years at the University of Louisville, where I became a senior academic administrator and a professor in psychology. Memphis for 5 years, the Board of Regents. And I hope folks are not adding these up to get my age here. But 5 years at the University of Memphis as a senior academic vice provost and the Board of Regents, where I even served as an interim chancellor for a period of time and responsible for academic and strategic planning. In the last 19, close to 20 years now, I've been president of MTSU. Now, I think that background really provide some incredible experience for me in adjusting to various environment and various situation. And some of the crises that we have experienced at this university, such as, the 2008 recession that we had to cut close to like $45 million from our budget, the flood, certainly the tornado, the Good Friday tornado. It allowed me, because I had to make adjustment from being really an immigrant, moving to the United States from a small country to Texas. Just think now, from the Bahamas, Nassau to Texas. And then Oklahoma, Kentucky. I'm able to take things in stride and realize that change occurs and that you have to put in place infrastructure that will help you to address eventualities, problems, crises, adjustments. And I think that has helped me quite a bit in my role as a university president, David.
No, I appreciate that very much. And we're now toward the end of our broadcast here, Dr. McPhee, but what I'd like to do is ask you, would you impart some words of wisdom, not just to your students, but also to the community as a whole, as we work to get through this crisis together?
Yes, in every crisis, we really should view it as an opportunity. And that is just not a saying. That's what we're trying to do at MTSU. We could put our heads under the sand and said, look, we're gonna wait until the storm passes over. Now we are deciding that we're going to do some innovative. We're going to use this opportunity. I'm reading a book called Permanent Innovation that speaks to creating opportunities using people, not just technology, but using people. And my advice is not that we have to slow our lives down. I mean, I find myself now walking the campus with my dog. Okay, I can hear the birds. I can, the fresh air, enjoy that, and time to reflect. And we don't, even though we must stay at home and we must make good decisions in terms of the social distancing, the technology as a tool allows us to continue to connect with each other, because we come from different backgrounds, but we have the same problems, we have the same desires. So my advice is, do not isolate yourself in the sense of not being able to reach out through FaceTime, through whatever other means. Certainly keep that social distance and stay at home, but use this opportunity to engage and develop energy to understand each other better. Talk to your family members beyond just looking at the phone and texting. And so this should be a period of rejuvenation and allow us to become much closer and realize that we are in this world together. And the only way we're going to survive, regardless, wherever you are in part of the world, is when you respect, love each other, and appreciate where you come from and how that connects with the world.
Dr. Sidney McPhee, President of Middle Tennessee State University, I want to thank you so much for being on this Tennessee Voices videocast. I appreciate you and your work, and best of success to you. And I wish that you and your family stay healthy during this time.
Thank you, David, and the same to you. Be safe. And this will, as they say, this too shall pass.
Thank you. And best to Andrew and Kathy as well. So many thanks to you all.
Thank you. Bye-bye.